with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Carolina Panthers and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9 games.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Luck. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
If you just break it down in individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On the carry, this is Scott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to look at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down. throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn. You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Gets past one man. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Carolina getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got the artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
I know. Most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
On second down, Scott. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down.
Pass interference. Defense.
Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now it's Locke. He's going to go deep for Funchess. This is caught at the 20. A big play here for the Cowboys. 53 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. A first down carry by Elliott. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could be an interesting decision.
Offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We're back to Arlington in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. A shotgun snap for Locke. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further.
Delay of game. Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's Locke. Funches with a catch over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Devin Funches, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Cowboys are in for 6.
I know those wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Extra point forthcoming. extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right on the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Out to the left, it's complete to Donaldson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Garoppolo to throw on second down. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run on first down. Scott. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On third down, it's Scott. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2, and it brings up 4.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on third down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. On second down, here's Luck. Brought in by Walford, right side. And they'll get him down here at the 23. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Luck now to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taken in at the 22. And a nice spin into some open field. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why, looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't play well, their team's not going to win. And right now, he's got his team in the lead.
And now they'll look to extend that lead.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Luck. Flushed out right, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Luck showing he can be dangerous when he tucks and runs. He's able to pick up the first down.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
On 2nd and 10, Lock. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And forthcoming, a field goal try for the Cowboys. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
Josh Doctson and company heading back onto the field now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on them. There's 2 sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion. Anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Panthers on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Garoppolo on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Cowboys have recovered. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call.
Holding. Defense.
Of course, they have the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And it's the 49ers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Jerick McKinnon, 2 touchdown runs on the afternoon. Next, we take a trip down the coast to Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as they were outplayed by the visiting New York Jets. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdown passes, leading. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And that one all tied. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Here we go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One-handed. Love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session. He'll be saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more times.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll get this up to about the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
3rd and long. It's Locke. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. On first down, Scott. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Briggs. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 3rd down, it's Freeman. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Gano's kick is right through. And a 2nd field goal here gets him back with 8-6. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capture the field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And now here come the Cowboys. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second.
Stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blockers.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It goes for a gain of 10. And
lead. Give it to the backs. Play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Locke. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. A very solid gain of 27. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme so he doesn't get hit.
He's got it for a Panther touchdown. In for the score. And the Panthers are able to get this back within a touchdown. Now Garoppolo will lead his guys up to go for the 2-point try. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
And he's not going to get in as a try for 2 comes up. He'll pick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Jonathan Bullard with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 19. Here's Locke. And this will complete right side to Funchess. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, It tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
There's Garoppolo to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche. It hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a 1st down, it hurts you psychologically. But it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway. And now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. They run again with Logan. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Locke. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Jonathan Bullard in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. 8 yards on the run there, and that trims it to a 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for that's an underdog.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Gregory. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown of the two-point conversion. Field goals are going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started, nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now Garoppolo, quickly to Gronkowski, that's caught. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be down at the 21, just shy of the 20, and they'll get over. On 2nd down now, Scott. He was trying to turn the corner, but he will go nowhere. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. They're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Rob Gronkowski, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are a 2-point conversion away from tying up this football game.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. And the failure to convert and tie the game, now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? You think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Luck gonna throw it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Panthers have recovered.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll make it a second down. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw, deep dip. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. The Panthers are going to take another timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cowboys, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they'll have another home date next week as the Kansas City Chiefs come to town. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.